Hi, my name is Kelly. I'm a traditionally independently published author of more than 30 books, and today we're talking about ways to use writing to cope. It's been a weird month, a weird year, I think we can all agree on, between, I don't even have to tell you all the things that's going on. I know you know. So what I want to talk about today was why or how we can use writing as a way to cope with everything that's going on in the world. And I have four different ways for you to use writing as a coping mechanism and why you should use writing as a coping mechanism. Number one, writing is a fantastic escape from the real world. Just like reading is a wonderful escape from the real world, so is writing. You get to live in your own head for a little bit. You get to escape the world, hence escape, and you get to go to a different land, a different time. Even if you're writing contemporary, a different story, a different location, and you get to live there while you're writing the story. And that leads to my second thing that's great about using writing as a way to cope is you can control the situation. I know a lot of the things in the world, it feels like things that we can't control. So when you write, it feels like that you can control at least some of what's going on now. If your characters get away from you, which all authors know that sometimes characters can get away from you, then you know that, yeah, sometimes you don't have a lot of control. But you have more control in your story than you do in your real life, sometimes it feels like. So it's a great way to escape, and it's a great way to have some kind of control over something when it feels like you have no control over anything else. And this can be coping from what's going on in the world, from a death, from a breakup, from a job that you lost or that you quit, or just anything can be stressful. A car payment you can't pay, a hospital bill you wasn't expecting, your electric bill to go up, a tornado comes through your neighborhood that you wasn't expecting. You need ways to cope. And of course, I would always suggest, if you need to see a therapist, definitely go see a therapist, go to talk to somebody about it. But also, if you're a writer, and on top of all the things, if you have a big traumatic experience, if you're a writer, and on top of all the other things you need to do, I would suggest write. Get your feelings out, even if it's in a journal. If it's in a journal, that's great too. You can put your feelings out. Sometimes it's hard to get your words out. I know for me, using actual words and writing it down helps a whole lot. So using a journal would be a wonderful way to get your emotions out that way too. But if you're talking about strictly using writing as a way to cope with things that's going around in the world, then I think it's a great way to escape. It's a great way to regain some kind of control, and it's a way to get your feelings out. You can live through your characters. A lot of my characters have anxiety. I have anxiety, so I can figure out ways to get them through things that maybe I have difficulty with. So it's a way to expand. It's a way to basically escape, like I've been saying, escape the world and go to a different place where you have control. You get your feelings out and you can just live in a different place for a while. Now, a way to do that, if you're stuck on a story, or even if your story is doing something that you're not really wanting to do, a great way to maybe do all this but not using your work in progress is to write short stories. That way you're not so focused on the story, and you're not focused on something about getting it out and getting it published and getting it edited. A lot of this is just to get your feelings out, to get how you're trying to cope through all this out. So I write short stories when I'm stressed, when I need to get some emotions out that I'm not real comfortable talking to other people about. I will write short stories, and they're just for me, but they're not like, I did this, I did that, I did this. They're written in third person, they're different characters, but it gets my mind working. It gets my mind out of things that I have to do in my day-to-day life. It gets my mind just you know, getting to be creative. And sometimes I think being creative for just a few minutes a day at the very least will help get through stressful situations. That's my rambly video on using writing to cope. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you use writing as some kind of a coping strategy for you, especially if you're a writer. I assume you watch this channel because you like reading books, or you're a writer, or, you know, things like that. So, yeah, if things are bothering you, talk to somebody, but also write a story. Get your feelings out in a way that is beneficial to you. Please subscribe to this channel if you would like more reading videos, writing videos on anything. And like this video if it was any way likable to you. Be sure to hit the notification bell if you want to see when I upload new videos. I do it 2 or 3 times a week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. If you notice, I'm not wearing my wedding ring. It fell. I don't know where it is. It actually fell last night in the bed when I was asleep, I think. I know it's in the bed. I know it's somewhere in the bedroom, but I don't know where. That's true.